Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. I am so pumped to have you here today because we're taking a really fascinating look right under the hood of modern digital creation. We're going to deconstruct a highly evocative, literally Hollywood-quality AI text prompt, and we'll do it layer by layer. Think of this source material as, well, basically a set of instructions, like a digital blueprint used to generate an incredibly detailed cinematic scene. Let's dive right in and explore how it builds an entire world from the ground up.
To really grasp the power of this text, we need to immediately immerse ourselves in it. The prompt reads, "The hidden entrance is perfectly camouflaged with moss, rocks, and roots." You can instantly picture it, right? You can almost feel that heavy rain and see the dense, super vibrant green of the jungle completely swallowing up this secret doorway. Notice how the text doesn't just lazily say, "There is a hidden door." No, it uses specific tactile textures, moss, roots, rocks, to camouflage it perfectly into the natural landscape.
And that brings us to the core framing question of our explainer today. How exactly do you engineer the ultimate cinematic survival bunker using nothing but words? Because honestly, that's exactly what this prompt does. It seamlessly layers the setting, the physical action, and some highly specific technical instructions needed to actually generate this imagery. It's this incredible balancing act between creative storytelling and super strict technical parameters.
Let's look at Section 1, the hidden jungle exterior.
Okay, so the text sets the stage right off the bat, deep inside a remote tropical jungle. It describes a skilled survival engineer secretly working amidst this incredibly vibrant, completely untamed world. We're explicitly told to picture giant ancient trees, insanely thick vegetation, cascading waterfalls, and diverse wildlife all around. By establishing this massive ecosystem first, this giant puzzle board, the prompt ensures the secret structure hidden inside it feels that much more isolated. It's a huge lesson for us. When you're generating an image, you've always got to build the macro world before you obsess over the micro details.
Moving on to Section 2, constructing the fortress.
Okay, let's dive into this. The prompt actually details the gritty, heavy-duty physical labor required to carve out this subterranean structure. It starts with excavating the ground using advanced tools, right? Right before pouring some heavily reinforced concrete. Then comes the installation of these massive steel blast doors, finally culminating in multiple underground levels. The text specifically injects the active, realistic process of construction right into the scene, which really grounds the whole thing in reality.
Which brings us to Section 3, luxury survival interiors.
Down inside this bunker, the text specifies luxury bedrooms, a fully modern kitchen, and a command center completely decked out with glowing monitors. We're talking a secure weapons room, massive food storage, vital water purification systems, and yeah, even hidden escape tunnels. Honestly, this apocalypse bunker is way nicer than my first apartment. But what's really fascinating here is how the prompt builds a space that is perfectly equipped for long-term survival, but absolutely refuses to compromise on high-tech comfort and luxury. It's got the whole shebang.
And this brilliantly illustrates the emotional core of the scene, sensory contrast. Outside, we have this chaotic, wild exterior with super heavy rain, but inside, it's safe, cozy, and beautifully illuminated with warm LED lighting. The text deliberately juxtaposes that harsh, wet, totally unpredictable jungle against the intensely secure sanctuary inside. It adds just an incredible amount of depth to the final generated scene.
Next up, Section 4, cinematic camera and style.
Now notice how this builds the narrative flow. The prompt actually calls for cinematic drone shots that fly over the jungle canopy before finally descending to reveal that secret entrance. Framing the introduction of the scene from the sky like this, that's a deliberate directorial choice. It creates this absolutely epic atmosphere of mystery as we plunge from the wide-open sky straight down into the hidden depths of the jungle.
And make sure this directorial vision is executed perfectly, the text uses very specific stylistic keywords. It demands hyper-realistic details and photorealistic textures. It absolutely insists on a realistic construction process and realistic physics. It calls for dramatic lighting, atmospheric fog, and even jungle sounds, all wrapped up in movie-quality visuals delivered in a survival documentary style. By explicitly stating these requirements, the text ensures the final output is completely grounded in believable, lifelike environments. There's really no room for error here.
Finally, let's look at Section 5, the negative prompt.
So according to our source material, a negative prompt acts as a super strict set of boundaries. It defines the elements, errors, or stylistic choices that must be explicitly excluded from the generation. Basically, if the first half of our text was about telling the engine exactly what to create, the negative prompt is all about telling the engine what not to do. And let me tell you, this is an absolutely crucial step for achieving that pristine Hollywood-level cinematography.
It is fascinating to see exactly what this prompt refuses to accept. It explicitly rejects anything blurry, low quality, or animated. It filters out unrealistic proportions, floating objects, distorted structures, or, yeah, even extra limbs. It strictly forbids poor lighting, watermarks, or logos. Think of it like an incredibly strict quality control filter. It's there to preserve absolute, 100% realism.
So, the crucial point is, when you juxtapose those strict negative exclusions with these final, high-tech buzzwords like 8K HDR, realistic physics, realistic human movements, and Hollywood-level cinematography, you get a prompt that demands absolute perfection. The big takeaway for us? The secret to breathtaking digital creation isn't just in what you ask for, but how rigorously you define what you absolutely do not want.
Which leaves us with this final, kind of provocative thought. We've seen the thick jungle, we've walked through the heavy concrete construction, we've felt the warm LED lights of the command center, and we learned the strict cinematic rules governing the whole shebang. But looking at this incredibly secure, heavily armed yet totally luxurious sanctuary, what kind of epic adventure and mystery is this massive underground build actually preparing for? I'll leave that for you to imagine. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, keep exploring.